I'm going to preface this video with letting everybody know that I'm currently working in 2506. And most of the things I'm going to talk about in today's video, the content that I'm going to get into, has been an ongoing process for the people over at Siemens. They've been taking a lot of the tools and consolidating them, making them work consistently, as well as putting them in different places within the ribbon or the third mouse button or whatever that may be. So, that being said, I want everyone to know that these kinds of changes that you're seeing in the interface, a lot of them are newer. So you may not be familiar where the tools are located at, or maybe they restructured them or changed the way they operate, because that's going on. And it's going on with a lot of the functions in NX. So recently I've gotten some questions about the display. What's going on with the display? Now notice there is a tab up here called display. So anything related to display is going to be going into this tab, which makes a ton of sense. Now, I do talk a little bit about this in my courses. There's a little bit that I really don't get into, and this is where some of the questions are coming from. This is where they stem from. And basically, it's background color. So I figured I'd get into the display tab and explain some of that away for everyone. Now, under the display tab, anything related to what you're seeing on screen, again, this is 2506. If you go back a few iterations, it's not going to be this way. I'm just letting you know where it is headed. Some of the tools have already been consolidated or been consolidated a while ago, and things have been moved around. So again, what you're looking at here is potentially a little different than what you have on screen, but it's coming. Now, when I right mouse click out here, you go to background. Okay, you have several backgrounds to choose from: dark theme, light theme, dark gray background, etc. And I happen to know a lot of people that like the black background. I just want it to be black, solid black. And I like that as well. I was used to working with that years ago. But how do I get to that, right? If you look under preferences, user interface or visualization, there's nowhere in here to change the background color, except for, I think, drawings. There's preferences for drawings that you can change. That's about it. So we have to go under display. And this consolidation, like if I look at background over here, okay, there are my current background themes that I can go to. If I go to more, I have ambient shadows, ground, advanced lights, and all this other stuff. And then I have this thing over here called scene preferences. If I go into scene preferences, well, what you're looking at is the scene. Okay, the scene controls the background. And that's how things are being reorganized in NX. Again, it makes a lot of sense. And not to pan on NX or old unit graphics, but a lot of this stuff was kind of a hodgepodge, as it is in a lot of CAD systems, and it takes time to take things and sort them out, clean it up, update the interface, and do all that kind of stuff. It just takes time. And that's where we're at right now with NX. They're really doing a big push to consolidate these things and clean this stuff up. So if we look at background, currently it's set to graduated. If I go to the top color and say, you know what, I want this to be black. Okay, there's my black strip across the top and it's white across the bottom. Maybe I don't want it to be graduated. Maybe I want it to be plain. All right, I can go over here and say black. So for those of you that like a black background, that's how you go and get it. Like just plain old black, hard black background. That's all it is. A lot of people like that. Now, I've gotten accustomed to a graduated background, and what I have been using myself, if I right mouse click, just go to background, is the graduated dark gray background. You'll see it's a little different. It's dark gray and it gets a little lighter as it comes down to the bottom. But I will go back into my scene preferences, and I am absolutely not against having something dark at the top and at the bottom, because this still works the same. Right? Remember in the old menu under preferences, you go in there and you pick the top and the bottom and all the other stuff, what colors you wanted there. So, all right, maybe I don't want it stark white. Maybe I want something with a a little bit of gray to it. Whoops. And that's how you modify the background color. If I go back into my scene preferences, this is where, for those of you that like to mess around with your lights, this is where the lights are going. Okay, before it was just an option pulled out all by itself. I have an environment, and in this environment, I can, as you can see, here's my scene settings. I can ground plane to offset. I can show ground reflections. You know, what is ground? How far away is it? So I have all of those things that I can do because, again, that is controlled by the scene. So here's my offset. Right. What are you doing? Where do you want that to look? So for those of you that are trying to make nicer images, that type of thing, again, this is in the later versions of NX. They started this consolidation a while ago, and they're still working through it because this is a big deal. There's a lot going on with the interface of a tool. If I look at shadows, and in 2504, you know, they added those ambient shadows, very nice ambient shadows, and then ground shadows and so on. So anything related to the scene is located right here. And you know, I can turn all that off. Typically, ground shadows are nice, ambient shadows are nice, so I will leave some of that on there. Honestly, the only reason why I use that dark gray background by default, under background, is because it's right there. I don't want to go in there and do the thing with my background every time I go into a file, so I just sort of hunker down on the one. Now you can set up a macro and, you know, push a little macro button and poof, it goes to black. You know, there's ways you can set up your own theme and go back to that theme every single time, or maybe you have a template file that you set up just the way that you want, so every time you go into NX or fire off a new part file, it has those scene preferences that you are looking for. Okay, so that's just some of the display functionality that you see in here. Now, something else that's changed for a lot of people is, remember in the old days, if I wanted to go in and have shading with or without edges, I used to have a view, it was shaded with edges, and I would have a view shaded without edges. And that's also changed as well. Now it's just simply an on-off switch. So if you're looking for that shaded with edges, well, you got to turn on face edges. If I right mouse click, that switch is right here as well. Notice Shift D. That is my shaded view. So it isn't that there is different shaded views any longer. It's that there is a shaded view and then things you can turn on and off in that shaded view. Whereas before it was shaded with edges, without invisible edges, and invisible edges, etc., etc. So you had that ability to do that. Now, if I want to see hidden edges, maybe I want to see dashed hidden edges. Right? Maybe I want to see solid hidden edges. So now I'm looking at my hidden edges. I think it's a little easier to see them as a dashed font. Okay? And then, again, I don't have any. Shaded type, fully shaded, partially shaded, or face analysis. Emphasis is still there. Emphasis is just that. Effects, do I want to see my smooth edges? This has been here for quite a while. Personally, I do use this on occasion. It's nice to see where the sharp edges are at and where the smooth edges are at. I kind of use this as an analysis tool at times. So I can give a model a once over, and if I see a line in the middle of a face that I know is not supposed to be there, I know that it's not smooth. So I can go and interrogate it a little deeper. So I'm a big fan of that. And let's do this. Go here. Effects, that's smooth edges. And of course there's reduce edge, you know, the bleed through and stuff like that. It kinda is nice in a sense because it sort of intensifies those edges, right? So if I go back and turn that on again, right? And you know, if I go over here, you can see that it really intensifies those edges. So you can still see them, but it's not, it doesn't pop. And once in a while I will do that just because I will, and turn that off. And of course there's your flat shading, wireframe contrast. I don't have wireframe in here. And then do the flat shading. I will use the flat shading on occasion, to be very frank, especially when I'm dealing with an STL and I want to understand what's going on kind of with its shape without the system kind of smoothing things out. So this is basically what flat shading is. It kind of just puts the facets on everything. You're not necessarily looking at the facet edges. You can turn those on still. There's options there for that. But when I'm dealing with STL data, I will have that on sometimes and go that route. Something else that's really nice is you have these options for show through, and show through. This is show through point, and this is show through curve. So we've had the ability to show through points for quite some time. I'm going to come in here, I'm going to put a point, and let's put it on this face. So on this side, I can see said point. And then I will also put in a line. I'll just draw something from point to point, nothing too fancy. So there's my line. Now when I go to this side, okay, I see a little bleed through on the point, but I do not see that point. If I go into display, and typically by default I turn this on and I turn this on, and I love that. Only thing I would change about these is I would change the ability to, right now there it just shows that it is hidden, but you can see through. I would just say I don't want to see this as something that's hidden. Right? I want to see it through the model. So what I end up doing a lot of times with my curves, because I've been able to do this for a while, you go Control J, is I will, if I know I have a curve that I want to be able to find no matter what, if it's hidden, I will put in a different font for the curve. So that way, if it's buried, I can hone in on that thing, and that's the curve that I want, and be done with it. Something else that you can do with points, if I go here and I want to change the object display of a point, and again, this has been in here for quite a while. Notice show through is there, so you may have some points you want to show through and some that you don't. You can do that. I can also change the point type, which is kind of nice. So notice I have the actual, I have a little center point there. Let me get rid of this one. I accidentally put 2 points in there. So you have the actual point rather than the little crosshairs as a point. So as they go through and clean up the display settings and move things around and add tools, this is where they are going to go, under the display tab. Super useful. I'm a huge proponent of this kind of thing, because now everything is being consolidated and it's cleaned up, and how the tools are used is also being made far more consistent.